Hey, what's up guys? This is Dr. Ryan. This is your 5 Minutes of Fire. Today is about controlling the variables. So I've realized through life that the better that you can become at controlling the variables, the more successful you're gonna be. And what I mean by that is there are certain things that happen to us every single day that we have no control over. You know, I think there is something to be said for luck or opportunity or just being at the right place at the right time. But I really believe that those opportunities are set up by your ability to stay disciplined and control the variables in your life. So the things that you can control are what time you wake up in the morning. You can control the thoughts that you think. You know, a lot of people think that they can't, that they have anxiety or depression, or they have certain feelings and they just can't control them. You know, that's a big thing that we work with our kids on constantly, is they get in these moods. And it's interesting because I find myself doing the same thing. I think adults think that they're beyond certain things once they reach a certain age, and I've realized that adults are just big kids. You know, we just have a better way of hiding it, or better yet, justifying the way that we behave or feel. But the reality is that you can control your thoughts and emotions. You can control the food you eat. You can control whether or not you go work out. You can control the words that you say to people. You can also control the way you feel about what other people say or do to you. You know, you're not always gonna win. You're not always gonna make the best decision. You're not always gonna have the best luck or get the same opportunity that your friend does, or your coworker or your family member. You know, God's given us all a unique place in time and in history with a unique set of responsibilities, roles, goals, and purpose. But it's how you perceive yourself in the world. It's how you perceive what people say to you or what they do to you, or how you're feeling or what you're thinking. And then it's your ability to control those things. You know, Viktor Frankl, who was a psychiatrist who got put in the Nazi concentration camps in World War II and then made it out. And then he wrote one of the best books that I've ever read, Man's Search for Meaning. You know, he wrote about the difference between the people that not just made it through, but actually thrived in an environment where those people are being starved, beaten, degraded, you know, just made to feel like they were just a number, not even a human being. They weren't even dignified enough to give them names. They just gave them a number. And he in his book, he talks about the difference between the people that made it through and thrived, and the people that environment crushed and those people perished, was the ability to take their external environment and turn it into something opportunistic. You know, he was able to find a way to still recognize beauty in the world, to still recognize opportunity and, you know, a purpose, even though he was literally handcuffed, you know, physically. And so again, your success in life, in my opinion and in my experience, by my observation in my own life and others, is that the difference between what makes people successful and allows them to thrive and succeed and achieve great things and have a purpose-filled, you know, joyful life, is the ability to control the variables. And for me, controlling the variables every single day, like the time that I get up, the books I read, the time I spend in the Bible and journaling, I don't always feel like doing those things. In fact, most of the time, this might surprise you, I don't feel like doing those things. I'd rather hit the snooze 10 times or just not even set the alarm in the first place, you know, and I'd rather not read or journal. I'd rather just, you know, flip on the TV or watch the news or just veg out and tune out. But I try to stay disciplined, and I'm not perfect at this, but I try to stay disciplined in the small things and control the small variables, because I found that the better you become at controlling the small variables, the better you become at controlling the big ones. You know, the divorce, the bankruptcy, the infidelity, those moments where you make horrible decisions that literally change the course of your life. In my opinion, it wasn't one isolated incident that created that, you know, opportunity, or that caused that to happen. It was a slow fade. It was lack of discipline or lack of controlling the small variables that ultimately led to your demise. And mine too, we've all been there. So again, controlling the variables is about setting yourself up for opportunity and success, so that at the end of your life, you can look back and say, you know, you were disciplined and you made the right decisions. And my opinion is that the more you do that, the more lucky you get, the more opportunities come across your path, and you have the opportunity to pursue the life that you really want. So control the variables, stay disciplined. Even when you don't think the little things really matter, they really do. And that's the definition of integrity, is doing the right thing or the right thing for you, even though it seems like nobody else is paying attention or watching. So I hope that helps you today. Go crush it.